Hello, I hope you're having a good day or night or midnight. It's very difficult to talk about the situation right now. Um, it's difficult to sleep and feel the pain. It is an eternal pain, of course. We're born with these stories that are given to us from our ancestors, from any side of the spectrum. And when we become more aware, we might become more sensitive because we are aware. Some people might say, oh, they have a great ego and they think they are going to fix it. They're going to have an intervention, an universal intervention. You have doctors working the field where victims are between life and death. And the story repeats. We have problems. We are also changing the problems in the West with problems that are of our own responsibility and ours only. And if somebody else likes to also intervene, is welcome. We all try to do something about it or simply carry on with our life. The word of the week is safety, and the second week of every month is related to interior design of the board here. So it's also for technologies and finance to do where I wanted to talk about. I already had come with the solution for the taxes, the universal taxes that can help to create the tech globe map. Yeah, we do have problems to assemble the tech globe map. All sorts of problems, and you're most welcome to come and help us as well. And you have your problems as well, and we can talk about it. I'm talking today as a form of prayer. I was found in the middle of a war of hackers. Uh, and I was trying to get a role player back so he could help us. Besides having given the part of the rules for role playing to virtual reality, I'm working on my voice, all right? So be grateful that there are good people out there taking the mickey out of the pressures I go through. 'Cause I don't like to see Trump uh, or the United States uh, are respecting my country, Venezuela. I wish for all the Venezuelans to have their work there, regardless the companies are from United States, in jobs of administration, if they like to continue in Venezuela. It only needs the world to come together against United States. So there is no bully. But it's funny why bullies exists. In an early age in India, surrounded by international therapists, people from all religions, parts from the world, wanting to dig into meditation with different schools. I've always called myself a Sufi, and at the same time, Catholic, Apostolic. Yet, I dive into many religions and mythologies with my main character, a river between life and death. And I wish you to know that the people that are dying are not suffering, are those who stay who suffer. When the body is away from the soul, that's why some people drink and take drugs or sleep, like me, to remain still. So there is no memory attached from the reality of this planet Earth. Everything that relates to the gravity of being alive in this body, in this planet, is it has been painful from the doctrines of the past that still linger today. We need to protect our cultures and get to enjoy the many cultures that existed before other cultures came as well, bringing their political and religious belief. But you will find as you unite your character traits from the memorable stories that had emerged and made you whom you are today, to come up with better stories for your people and for the world to know. Well, you are the custodian of your own. But some people can become so eccentric. It's not being judgmental towards what you think is better. You could find that on your own. The Pope, the Pope spoke about the story of a woman that Jesus met, and they were judging her. Well, he brought many people to become Christian in the town. To convert, we also must let go of Jesus once we walk through Jesus. But each character that has influence for centuries and millenniums, culture, is because of a great reason. You will find the difference among the people. You will always find people that take advantage of having too much freedom or power from others. It doesn't matter from what country or religion. They will create threats for security, not based on feeling safe with one another. Because if you are judging others, so nobody judges you because they will be threatened to die or lose their job or be in jail. We do not have much of a consciousness that's moving higher levels of humanity. For Europe, it's very difficult to not invest in a war in Iran, knowing the abuse that's being done to women and girls. They are not investing enough for the problems that we have in the West because they don't want to lose their jobs either. Like, for example, I am living without human rights. There are many people in the West living without human rights. My work is never going to be known as you think for the people. It depends only on the leaders of the world. And I do not have any agenda, as the Pope said. The woman has no agenda. It is of yours to take care. And this is a relationship. This is a relation where we share the world, we share the problems with your neighbors, we share the migrants. I had to face a lot of harassment and insults from problems, the labor class. Only because other people are putting us to do what we don't want to. We don't want to support thieves. Yeah. So we don't want to support what's hurting. So at the same time, Jesus in a cross is a threat. So as the Muslim people do to their people to pray and be good, to have these morals, to be indoctrinated, you're also cutting their wings to think differently. Right now, you don't know what's going on because it has been always been that way. Maybe your father has been killed, and now you are the leader of Iran. My father was murdered, and I didn't want to follow the murder of my father because I understood why he was killed. In fact, I had told him he would be killed if he doesn't do this and that. But why would he listen to me? Yeah? The older generation knows better. People are innocent, but we're sharing an energy field around the world that is universal as well. And we cannot allow certain systems to stop evolving because the future is going to evolve very fast. People are going to only care about their material world, their health, and to be surrounded by people that are healthy, people that have evolved, people that do not have mental illness. It doesn't matter from what culture. When you have people that become pervert because suddenly they have freedom, These are analyses that have happened already from the date that the pill was made for women to have anticonceptions. 100 years ago, women could get paid for their work. 100 years ago or so, has not evolved very much, right? Considering I'm a representative of the role player community in virtual reality, and the tech titans wants to steal all the information and the work. So we need your support. We need your support in the world to help Europe and United Kingdom to be the mediators for your verse in fiction and in the characters based in history to be maintained against the tech titans of United States of America. So we have to put in a balance what is more important. Will they evolve with a good relationship? It's just have to give many flashes there to imagine. Imagine. Okay, here it is. Hot Jabba Kamenei. I hope to pronounce it better and better and also evolve. Well, it is beautiful to discover and to get to know. It's a cat with many lives and curiosity. To love sometimes is to feel the pain of the other, and it's not fair, of course. My father was murdered or killed, not yours. I told my father the people of the village are going to kill you and steal from you. They won't see you are helping them to have a village and credit 10 times cheaper without any entrance. They won't see you are helping them because they lost their houses from a natural disaster. They won't see your goodness, Father, in Venezuela. They won't see that you supported Hugo Chavez Frias because they're ignorant. So we have the responsibility to express to one another because we will kill each other otherwise. My father pretended to be as them, like many politicians do, and even kings, to not show too much opulence, just a degree of class, of course, to have respect. We do need to love and understand our inner authority and our responsibility towards ourselves and with others. There are many women alone in the world because they do not want to be mistreated from men. Um, it needs many generations to get to a level of respect. You don't want to be a woman that's married, faking that it has a perfect love when her husband is cheating and and she thinks to make something good for society or her children because their children are living in a lie and they will just learn to lie because they've been lied all their life. They have not felt the frequencies of ultimate love, which is not sex. To love someone so it can see its own darkness. What is the cause of the hatred? What is the cause of the addiction? What is the case of being so primitive that you're just gonna fix things by with violence? I didn't grow up with that, thanks God. Thanks God. So if the man of your culture need women to hide, imagine the level of perversion they would have when they come to an evolved country. Yeah? Our men are also perverts because marriage exists and they are being castrated from their sexuality. Many men become gay so they can have as much sex as they wish with other men, or bisexual, or men with men who think to just be men. And the same happens in Muslim countries, in countries where people do not come together from consciousness. But social repression. We're still wondering around what is universal love. We are still together on the frontiers of universal love. It doesn't mean we are there. We might have a glimpse. You might see Buddha alone. You might see a few sparks. You might see a lot of people that are well read but have no experience to it. You must be daring to have bath in the infinites of universal love. You must confront because we come from there. I prayed to God to send me a job where people need me, so I ended up in the Middle East. And I would just be in my bed in silence for 3 months. It was a nanny agency, nanny governess. My toddlers became 2 years ahead. I wish to see them again. But before they called me, if I wanted to work, I felt a dream while I was awake. You have to understand that I had an excellent life with luxuries and freedoms and dance. And my loyalties have been with true love from beginning to end, without a single lie. No need to lie, because I grew up like that. I was formed in that way. So I wish to be in silence for to be there for others where is needed, because I am already satisfied. There is another form of satisfaction. The cover of my life might be frightening and unsafe and trembling. Deep inside, I am safe. I feel immortality. It is not a sleep. I have seen God with his voice, a warm heart voice, and many auras of light in the Middle East before I was called from a nanny governance agency. Seen many auras of light in the Middle East and the voice of God saying, "They are hurting my people." So that there are many people from around the world as well putting their lives so this stops and it heals, even if it costs their own lives. And at that time, it was from the West who is hurting the Arab people. So I live in misery thanks to being hidden as the woman with no power. I gave myself for it consciously. It's very different. Of course, I would like to have my children and be paid for my work. How many women in the world are not being paid for their work and they're just slave or to serve a man? And they just go with rich men as well. All you have to be is pretty. That's all you need to do. Maybe get a university degree, but when you're in the university, try to get a rich guy. It hurts me to have failed my daughters, to not have given them the safety they deserve. And my son, they had to learn from other families. They would better pick up by themselves whom they want to be than from me. Or perhaps simply love me as I am. I know some children will love you because you have more money. Not every child is the same. They will love you only when you have money. There are people that grow up in this way, but they come from families uh, who were thought in that way and have struggles from two families who made her or him. In the same way, people around the world that are seeing other cultures. Most of guys, when are young, do not respect women, but they lie to them. So, pornography is killing the minds of people. I wish to write about Tantra when I become older, but I don't want to be looked on anyway. So, it could be maybe from anonymous writing, but I want this to work in government as well because of prostitution and how the society has been built for men to ruin themselves as well because they do not have much of a healthy outcome to grow up hating women in such a degree. Um, and many women are innocent for what other boys have to go through because they don't have a family that is safe to grow up. So they learn to betray people like if it's normal, thinking they have plot that in the same way they've been treated from childhood. You will find a lot of hatred towards women from one way to another. And this is not the way we are meant to be. So there are many men that will jump from relationship to relationship knowing that it will just last 2 3 years and the woman wants to have total true love. So if a woman is giving herself to a relationship where she's going to lose everything she has invested, it's not going to work for her and her children. So women have a great downfall because all the rules have been for women to have a downfall. And now women have to walk like skeletons. So it's the very mirage of being alive as the dead that's accepted as fashion. And then there are the other women that are hidden. And I do like to wear robes. I would love to wear robes if I was super rich, as we used to do in India in the ashram. So I don't have to explain anything to anyone. I would love to just not have to explain anything to anyone because of how I dress or because I have to be accepted in certain jobs as an employee because that's the uniform or the form everyone dresses. Just to be comfortable and not be so. All these fashions take so much energy away from us. So Europe is working forwards to create the rules and regulations of technology for the nations in the world. For the Middle East will be only one country that can hold the center for their tech globe map and the globe atlas for their influencers to go there and learn and see. Today I feel that it's never going to happen. All my work is never going to happen. Today I feel I am broken. My back is broken. The lower part of my neck is broken. There is a curse because of talking about Atlas. You will carry your own world in your shoulders like Jesus, his cross. And we feel we're sustaining heaven for people to walk through us. But this is a form of saying for people to step on us. So all that security and defeat to feel secure so no one takes from you is false. It's creating more wars. I know that this war has to happen, unfortunately, because only a miracle could happen. So they can let human rights start a little bit, just a little bit at least for expression, freedom of expression, to speak in behalf of your people. I'm here to support leaders because I am interested that they take care of their culture, for their characters, for the multiverse. And of course, I really wish people to live as good as I lived, or more. I grew up with dance, and I grew up with a lot of love and support and arguments that were for the better. I would think adults would be monsters. Why do they have this heavy energy? Always talking loud about problems, political problems, historical problems, economical problems, because my parents would deal with a lot of money or movies, problems just to open the movie my father filmed in theaters. Problems of all sorts, problems, people stealing. The more you have, the more you have to take care from. That's part of having power and administrating. So people learn to do it better and to ask for it, knowing that your brothers and sisters have the right to do so. to free your people from these horrors and pain that's been founded by beliefs from Israel to United States. This war might have to happen. There is no war that does not have an end. Every war has an end. It doesn't matter what United States says because they make their Department of War and they are sacrificing their people for you to evolve and let the world evolve together as one. Putin is not helping, but he's inciting people to die as well and fight for what? We are bringing our inner conflicts so we can solve them together, understanding what is the best solution for you to have power over your information, but at the same time share a universal technological field only if United States accepts the percentage of each country for the real world and the multiverse, which has boundaries. It does not mix. You will love your woman to grow up to be sexually free, for your man to be sexually loved without perversions. It will take a lot to return to heaven with a universal love language where man and woman become one because they are complete and they don't have more desires to look for or heal. You might want to have an harem and many prostitutes behind your tunics. In the same way, the Jews go to prostitutes. Is normal, right? But are these women learning what is tantra, or are they making man ejaculate fast because they're tired of being with many men? So what is you think is good for you is very bad for your society. You might be very happy with the fast ejaculation, and I'm not against having a quickie. Everything is fine when you're in love. The poverty of relating with one another. You also have the arts where people become multi-talented, which is normal in the West for many, not everyone. And we share throughout living a life of studies to, to create states with one another. It does not have to be different to create from what has been already learned, studied, formed. So how will you let the abundance flower in your country with birds, with waters, with currencies of understanding these values with one another, to explore, to be, to play music, to wake up, knowing the day is yours. But what do people know if they all have to follow what's been established? Those in power are being brought down in the United States, slowly, surely, to have hide their crimes. They will take all the money you have taken, all your fraudulent deals. Everything is going to be seen with evidence. Today, we might not have the full evidence of your political scams, so you have votes from the people, from both parties. United States doesn't want to show the money of the government because they are dying with their corrupted systems. They have nothing good to offer, but they have the might to break through. You need to be a little bit delusional and psychopathic to break through. I mean, I do have I do have those traits as well. And you might believe yourself to be prosocial, but you're still psychopathic. I might say it's from empathy, but we all have a path in there. We all have a path and a place to be. Think how all those who have died will reborn. Think how all those who are willing to die are going to be reborn. Because today they are victims and they are not aware of how much money has been invested from the Arab world. So their own Arabs are victims. Okay? So this war of religious order is coming to an end. I'm willing to die if you throw those atomic bombs. I'm willing to die as well to see a better tomorrow. So throw all those atomic bombs. You're going to spray drones and missiles so people keep investing on wars. Your prophet might not be from any religion. God sends so many prophets, but the majority will respect the old regiment. Jesus might be shown on the cross again and again, like a torture, to remind us Jesus won't be shown as he used to be. Your Mohammed as well. My husband had a car accident and he talked like Jesus. He said he was the avatar of God and he was also Muhammad. So I had to listen to him in first person for many years. I can bring him to you if you need a prophet. Is that what you need? But you will always deny any prophet that will come. And he will contradict himself because I'm a writer and I am a family. I care for him and I believe in him because in that moment he was in character. I didn't care if he was really or not. I love his form of expression and respect him and wish for him to come back to whom he used to be, born on this age as David. And I love him pretty much. I gave him 2 children. But you must understand that the Jesus of yesterday and the Mohammed of yesterday is not the man of today. Must allow the past to die, to move on. We cannot wait for people to become aware because the pain is the meaning of their existence. I know because I hold the pain for my children to be with them again together. I have files of evidence in the ministry in Canada, British Columbia. I have files and files and boxes of evidence. And there is where my pain is, and I hold on to it. As many papers you have that hold on to your pain and reason to defeat yourselves for whom you are, that you believe you love to be. That is your reason to be alive. And nothing else has meaning. And that's it. I can understand that. But my children are alive. Your dead are not alive. Your dad will wish you to be happy and find your reason to be born again, to be born while you're alive. What would a child like to do? So my first daughter chose to be Christian, but I show her all the religions of the world. And she reads the Bible more than I do. And she blesses her house with the Bible. And I ask her to not take care of people spiritually. So she doesn't have to be a washing machine for their spiritual problems. People must stick within to clear themselves on their own, find that eternal safety. That's guaranteed. When you die, you will know again where it comes from. It doesn't come from the rotten body you enjail yourself and your people. You will see it through your people's vulnerabilities. That suffering keeps you together. So sometimes this is a chronic disease. I can recover my children. That's a life. We will never recover our father. I had to come out with a better reason so people can acknowledge their credit. I had to think and talk crazy to find reason beyond madness. Lose my reputation as well. Lose everything if I must, just to be lost, to find a solution. Because I believe people can learn to have credit and teach one another, not necessarily through bank or a system. I must say thank you to my father to have been good and been bad, because he believed that it's okay to be a man in that way. It was generational how men treated women and girls and boys. They still take jokes. They would still treat women like if they're stupid, and women will have to pretend to be stupid if they want a man or to survive. You have to think of science fiction. Once have entered, no one is going to pay attention to the past. There will be people that are terrorists individually, independently, for their own beliefs, their own pain. If you come from a good family, there is no girl that will wish to become a man or no boy that will wish to become a woman. A good family, married or co-parenting, a good family, because love is there and their care. So if you want to have a woman hostage, or the woman has to triangulate the father with the new man because he's rich, that is not universal love, where the child can pick the better from everyone and understand in its own degree of evolution why it's going to create itself in this way. We also belong to a generation. You look at your children, their children, where they're going to be tomorrow. Are you going to put the world to be creating robots for war and machines and algorithms for war? This is your responsibility. You have a very low level of intelligence to create artificial intelligence to go to war. So we have the time now to regulate everyone who is delusional right now and thinks to be the owner of the world. All right? And we need your help with your flaws, understand the flaws of the Russians, understand the flaws from everyone, so we can live like gods. Because God created us to live and be in His image. So where is the compassion there? I know the songs of Allah, where is the compassionate and the merciful? And I can understand the defeat. In those times, it was fine to show Jesus in a cross, bring people together through pain, because He suffered for us. In those times, it's okay that Muhammad wanted to destroy everything until the Mediterranean, because it's not only the people of Iran, but the Muslims are happy when people die in the West or something bad happens, and they want to destroy Israel as well. And the Israeli people are also evolving. Your grandchildren will grow out of this. Because they have better things to do, and you provided this passage for them. This is a generational fight. All those monuments and scriptures mean nothing. If you want to see through what stays forever, that's safe forever, you wouldn't protect yourself as much. You would be open, trustful, 100%. You wouldn't intend to manipulate anyone or bring anyone down, so you are remembered forever. You allow the love to flow throughout the world, the universe, and the unknown with others. Allowing others to be as they wish. At the same time, do you want them to be farm animals? You are creating humans. You have the responsibility in the Economic Forum to allow humanity to be human, to be free, to have the sense of property. I gave myself to work for free for the world, but I also like to break the structures of the apocalypse to end. So I'm going to get paid, and no one is going to marry anyone. So a new testament is formed. You have to understand that when you close the Bible with the apocalypse and you don't pay women their work and you want to marry them, you will create the same loop of that time space. That has already happened so many times. You want women to be crying, asking for their money. You will want divinations. Astrology doesn't help. The planets are always there. Eternity is always there. You can know everything at the same time together. You can feel one another without the need of looking at anything but within yourself. You will know what your family wants from you and why it's so important to embrace your culture and how many cultures you have within one culture as well. To study Babylon and to understand that your language is not the only language, and to come down to the language of the heart, come down to the universal love language of the heart. You can see everyone's ego to be remembered in memory fields, being reborn in formats of egos, people who want to be something to be remembered. And then you will start to see another human race coming out of all that noise, of all that trash of information. There is noise and rubbish and old fashions. For what's been recorded is perhaps too much noise. And a new human race will come out of creativity and beauty, honoring one another through the art, through the sciences, through anything they wish. Finding privacy is not a luxury. It will have come out of people wanting to control people, because that would be the only way they learn. But you have not learned what is freedom. You have not seen through. You still carry veils. You just want people to be blind as you are. And there is truth in the agony, and there is truth in the shouts, and there is truth in pain, and there is truth, and there is love in every format, and noise as well as rubbish, and rotten bodies, and corpses, and decay. There is also love there, but there are people who praise the death and invest in the death. So you have the two coins, the two sides of the coin, from safety and that which is safe, that lasts for forever. Why people die without having found fulfillment, as relationships die without having found fulfillment. Why people hold on to their beliefs that kill them, and they are in search of another way. This is all the reason of the biological systems in planet Earth that separate us from other worlds in the universe. Because every form of existence finds its own way, its own path, its own form to be together, to change. And now you see the world and you hear the people of the world. You see the delusions as well. You see the struggles are out there. And we look in our house. That's an eternal vibe. Heaven is a state of perfection, a state of peacefulness. I wish you could prevent from the worst. I wish you come to talk to the world with your own ideas, with your own awareness to this generation and the future generations, without judging other cultures or yours. At least questioning what is the reason to be alive and to let others be alive. So I would die for my country and for the woman of the world. If they kill me in a bomb or in a manifestation to free my country, the woman, the girls, I will live in peace. I will live safe. The West has fought for many freedoms you don't have mentally with one another. Yes, we do have our demons. They used to love each other. I think they were providing good to the girls. People share their beliefs with their pleasures, their beliefs. So, welcome to the week of the war of the week. That's safety and safe. Maybe your people want to die, or what makes you safe in eternity. What happens when you don't have a body anymore? I wish you make love with the people of the world and see the differences. But the Muslim world is the worst in bed. Is that understood? Imagine how is your spirit. If you could be loyal and at the same time spark your imagination, there will be so much maturity to be loyal to your complete. You have better investments to look for together as man and woman. To experience together. In the fantasy realms, we have much to discover. I have much to give you. I am being treated like an ignorant, like someone who has been there I'm not here to be more special than anyone when there has been so many people finding and creating or inventing so much we have to enjoy. What is this misery of putting women down? I still have part of the formula for the multiverse to work. This is true. I'm not going to make any business, so I am accepted socially. This is a work from the inside. This is a work that can only happen from each leader of the world to preserve the rights of each character for each multiverse. It will never happen without you taking care of it, because each character is unique. It will break the tissue of reality if somebody wants to copy your character and take your group, what you have created. In real life, humans have killed others to take over. So coming to this understanding as well is to evolve together. The very person I gave part of this formula wanted to steal and gossip and invest on other men as if they found the tissue of the reality. As soon as I have my money, I will bring the evidence, not to ruin their lives like they wish to ruin me, because I've been living in a ruin that I auto generate myself is another story. It has much to do with healing. When you can heal yourself and understand everything without judgments, it's a miracle thanks to the good people and having a good orientation. I wish you as well to have a good orientation. You have the same powers to heal and how to generate your people. A sickness will always fight itself, Elaine, because a sickness is also an entity. It's a malignant entity, and it will kill the body. It will kill itself. That is a sickness. It's a sociological sickness, a psychological sickness throughout the masses. You will learn that throughout your characters. Each society will learn from their own creation of their own illness. I'm not going to tell you, but there are characteristics moving within the illness of a body and a society. Because we are so unaware of looking through it. Video games won't work in the future as virtual reality. And we are responsible for our own, and we're here to support one another. Only a Catholic Christian would do this. There is no other culture in the world who will care for another culture. You must understand why you are not who you are and why you didn't grow as the Western world did with the Christian like. Also renewing ourselves from sin. You have to see the health yourself in your own flesh, of your own people, in first person, with your own characters to understand. And at the same time, that also happening in other cultures. We can do it through playfulness in a virtual reality. You can play wars as well and have many multiverses with different laws if you like to see what happens. We've already invested 20 years there, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. Okay, here we are, and now let's feel safety of eternity for what we are building together. And if possible, bring a new chapter towards Babylon. But we're still not going to be God to reach heaven in that way or hold the Atlas as a punishment. We are the portals towards heaven by respecting one another. Bye. And hello to that which you are saying to the world. Study your words before you speak. Say something that's never been said before. From the past to your own generation. And support us, because we are also your sisters and brothers. Please stop this war if possible with your own words and agreement to be one.